Maybe, maybe not. Maybe not. Life feels like an experiment to me. And every single day that I wake up, I feel like not only am I redoing the exact experiment just to test to see if that's always going to be the result, but I'm also trying to figure out for all the variables that there is. And I realize I'm eventually going to get this very, very well thought through, but for as many variables as there is, I'm unsure on what I took out, if not what I added in to make this result any different than any other day. And within taking in the factor that there are also variables that I cannot account for, because for me to be able to do the exact same things every day would also, for me to be able to account for all the things that the other people that I interact with, that I expect for the exact same things to happen with, to be able to have the exact same encounterments for it to be fucking perfect as well. And that's just like, that's just too astronomical in my personal preference. But yet some days seem to run exactly the same as the other days. And I've come to realize, like, if I do this in this room or to this person, that's always going to seem to be. But I can do this 3 times to this person, and then the 4th time it changes to, why did they hit me? Or why were they snappy? Why were they aggressive? Why? What's the variable? Could it be something that I didn't account for? Because, well, I didn't know that they got attacked verbally by somebody. Well, I didn't know that somebody physically attacked them. Well, I didn't know that they lost something. Now they're feeling so distraught that they're taking the emotional imbalance out on me, compared to just like, yeah, I get it. You're missing something, but what did I do? No, I'm personally asking you. I didn't think I did too much. Did I say something too off? Did I speak too loudly? Was I too fast? Was I too forward? Was I too vague with it? I am confused on what I did to make you mad at me. Why are you mad at me? And some people aren't necessarily, they're just mad and around me. Yet people want to direct that towards me, and I'm just like always thinking this is how it used to be. Younger me, like, what can I do to please the people around me? How can I be the peace? Why is there so much yelling? Why is there so much arguing? Money, 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 money. Why don't we ever have enough money? Money, 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 money. They always keep battling. Money, money, money. I fucking hate this fighting. And everything feels better when I'm not around them. So I stay in my room, play video games. I go outside and leave the house for hours. I go where there's no one else around me. Even though I grew up in a family with a lot of people, I still felt lonely. Money, 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 money. You would think I have better financial literacy for as much as I see money, I hear money. I don't like money. And maybe that's why we don't have the best of relationships. Like, I can hold on to it. I guess value it. I keep it well circulated to the point where my debts aren't actually the point of killing me. But people will always be like, money, 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 give it to me. Just because you exist, and that just kind of bothers me. How capitalistic this world, it seems to be. Not really the world, but at least the country that I reside in. It's just like, wait a second. What's that money really hiding? I don't have enough money to bury all the things that I have done. But when I do have enough, they'll me because, well, now he also has enough money to show things that other people can't see, being able to reach those that can't typically be here, because I elevate others while others try to diminish the view, try to make sure it's harder for others to come through. Like, I made it through this way. That's why I'm blocking it so nobody else can do it. I'm just like, I made it this way. Hey, come through. And I also made this pathway. Shit, it's easier than it used to be. Well, the old heads be like, well, I did it, so you should have to. And I'm just like, wait a second. Isn't the I did it so you don't have to? I crawled so you couldn't run. I fought so you could sleep. I did this so you didn't have to worry. But eventually, from what I've come to learn how history be, if one generation is docile, then they won't know what war is until war hits. And that war became so they could be. And it's just like, if you don't learn it, then you're doomed to repeat it. It's his story told by the winner's view. They tell us as much as we need to know, and it's just to keep the system going. So why do you think there's a clog in it? No, there couldn't be. The mistreatment? No. Don't be asking. Don't be paying attention. Stop comparing, but compare these teams and then spend money on them. Compare these people and then spend money on them. But don't compare the treatment. Fuck that. That's not important. Don't pay attention about psychology. Or is it psychiatrically? I don't get it. It's something about the mind, or is it the brain that, why do people act like this? Is it the way that they're taught? Is it the way that they're brought up? If you want to solve a problem, don't you have to go to the root of it? But nobody talks about the childhood being the upbringing, and so it's important to figure out, how did your parents, guardians, or supervisors, however you deem to value those that treated you? Because some people will say, I love my parents, and some people will say sperm donor and fucking oven holder. I don't really know what they would call that, bitch. Oh, possibly. And then others would be like, oh my, yo, foul mouth. You didn't go through, you don't know this. And I will tell you because you won't notice, or maybe you do. There's a reason why my body looks like this. I thought it would be cool. I'm too numb to even feel shit. There's so many different reasons why people do it, but do you sit and question, or do you just question and without questioning verbally enough for them to explain? Don't ask questions! And we're not going to give you the right books for you to learn. Just watch TV, even though we don't do the best representation for every community. We just show you what we want to. Because you're not supposed to be free. That's why we remind you, you are free. Do you have to be reminded that you can walk? Do you have to be reminded you can breathe? Do you have to be reminded you can go places? Do you have to be reminded things that you already know? Why do I need to be reminded if I'm free if I'm not? Like, shit. I almost feel like I'm in a zoo if I think about it. Like, this is just a bigger prison system if you stop and really... The more that you learn, the more that you realize, and you'll start to see with your real eyes. It's not really as beautiful as they paint it to be. If you really want to see the full encompass of the world, you should watch all the versions of the movies, from fantasy to gore to horror to joyful to romantic comedy, or just be out in society. Go ahead, see it for how you see, because everybody be treated differently, mixing or not mixing, not mingling or mingling. Well, I don't really know. Heaven and hell is the place where you want to be, but don't realize it could be anywhere in your reality. I be hateful towards money, but I'm still fucking happy. I had to find the peace in myself when I was looking out. I was looking out for others, thinking that they would do for me, but no. I be the giving tree until I'm so bare I have to go back to care for me, hey. I have to be the number one person everybody else falls in behind, just like you should do. The first in your world should be no one else but you. Think about it like this: if you don't take care of yourself, who is going to? And even though, like I've said before, that parents are supposed to, doesn't mean they're going to. It's a title, but what does that mean? What does it mean? Some people have hyper independence due to the fact that they've learned from a very, very young age, from maybe even existence, that the only person that can help them, the only person that can protect them, the only person that is good for them is literally themselves. And then in certain cases, that could turn into narcissism. Other cases, that could turn into a lot of bad things, but I'm not quite sure. But what is bad? It's perception. Because just because they're hyper independent doesn't mean they're unwilling to help others as well. And they could also be maybe huge community helpers, if not fundraisers, raise funders. Either way, they could be just as good as they are bad. Anybody could be perceived to be whatever you want them to be, essentially. It's just, which team are we on? Which team am I on, or which team are you on? Which team are we on? I've always hoped, for those that I enjoyed company, that if we ever showed up on the battlefield, we'd be battle buddies compared to enemies. Because I don't see like, hey, we're wearing the same color. We gotta be. It never made it long enough to tell them that we have a fucking bow. In the art of war, you want to win, and the only way to win is to technically cheat, because there's rules, but if nobody follows them, which is why there's criminals, then like, what are those? Strongly worded advice, strongly worded things. You can't really you can't argue. An alive man and a dead man can't have an argument. So if we had a 10 count to pace away and I choose to shoot you at 3, you can argue with me for as long as you have time to, assuming that I didn't already instant kill you. So yeah, I might be a dishonorable person, but if nobody lives to tell the stories, then what's his story going to be? I am the best person that you'll ever meet. I am the greeter of greetings. People love to invite me to meetings because I make things easy. I never go back on my word. Everybody I've done accounts with love me, mainly because they're dead. But I'm not going to tell you that part. I just love doing things for others, mainly me. But I'm not going to tell you that part. So what could I do to help us get rich? Mainly, I mean me. I've come to learn through my experiences that to trust them is to trust them. To know them is to experience them in many rooms and many places. And if you only experience them in one, then what do you really know? And that's how I've come to learn. It's so many calculations, and it bothers me. I think I know people that I'm like, wait, what do I really know? I know that they yell. I know that they scream. I know that they're frequent. Well, yelling and screaming, the same thing, goofball. I know that they're frequent bathroom users. I know that they're erratic drivers. I know that they're short-tempered, which I also, I guess, go with the yell and scream part. But, yell and scream could also mean that when they partying, if they party. They're also antisocial. They're also... But what does that all encompass mean? Because to some people, that seems like a good time. And to others, that seems like a headache. And to me, it's just what I get. It's what I've always been around ever since I was young. And the comforts of my youth kind of grows up with me. And when I hear a lot of yelling, I will remember and kind of revert back in my mind to that childish part. But I just also remember, because I'm also very fucking aware that I am an adult. So it's just like when people are yelling, first I have to figure out through the octave of it, is it aggressive, is it joyful, is it surprised? And from there, that's when it's just like, if it's an aggressive yell, that's when I more or less revert to the child, because like, I fucking hate that. And I get really angry, and then when I get angry, it's just like, oh, no, stop, just separate yourself, put your headphones out, go away. If it's surprise, it's like, whoa, what the fuck's going on? And I'm just like going to detective mode. I'm like, putting on my Caucasian suit. I know I shouldn't be inspecting shit because it's a good way to die first, but yeah, I really want to fucking know. And if it's a surprise, that's more like, cool. I don't know what they're so happy about. More or less. But because I have to first identify what that scream is, and it's all being done, and this is how much is going in my brain, and I'm always stuck in my head because there's a lot that can be said, and then there's a lot of things that aren't unsaid, and I do realize that a lot of communication is done not more or less verbalizing, but it's done to tone, and it's done to the way that you hold yourself, and the way that it's nonverbal cues, essentially what I'm trying to say. And not a lot of people are aware of that. And because, like I keep saying, I'm always in my head, I'm aware of so many things. When I try to communicate with others, I'm just like, from all the previous calculations that have been done on me, the most things that have been responded are more likely going to be, you're weird, why are you doing that, what the fuck? So how do I not say something that is going to cause those lines? But also on top of those being the very high remarks to me, I also remember that there are also high ignorances. It's not ignorances. High unavailability, low responses. There we go. They are likely not to respond is essentially what I'm trying to say. And I keep saying it just in different forms because it's not hitting for me for some reason. They're very low likely to respond, so it doesn't really matter how you try to break the ice. Rather go, pew! Oopsie, I think I went too hard. If you're just like, if they respond, they respond. The weird part is, even though that we've matched, it doesn't mean that we're gonna match. So be as smooth as you can, but don't be so smooth that you just keep sliding through. But don't wait so long that you're so old. It's like, it's a chance to, because I thought I had a chance to. And you might just be bougie in your mindset thinking, ooh, I'm king, queen, yeah! So you're gonna wait here. I don't like waiting on shit that I fucking enact for myself. Why the fuck am I gonna wait for you? And the fucked up and funny part is about that is I'm fine waiting in hospitals and waiting rooms and all this and all that. But I don't like to. I don't want to. I don't go there often because of that reasoning. But if I need to, and in the mindset of the awareness, if I need to, I will. But if I don't, then why the fuck am I? I don't need to fucking sit here for 16 weeks for you to fucking respond to me. You know, there's millions of other people. There are people that just try to get my attention. I'm just like, I don't know how to. You're gonna hate me as soon as I speak. And that's fine. The quicker that you say something rude to me, the quick, like, if you're gonna say something rude and we can't talk it through to figure out, like, oh, I said that just to try to further get you. I was just like, this is my personality, but I'm not trying to say it to be a rude person. Then, like, I'm just gonna leave because we all, not all of us, but a lot of us feel entitled to each other's time and energy. But for as much as I've went through, for as much as I've experienced, I've just, motherfucker, I'm putting my headphones on. I didn't see that. I don't remember that. And I do have funny fucking memories. Sometimes I remember things, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I remember do things, sometimes I think I did it. And it's just like, I have so much going on. There's no room for you. I saw it, delete. It's just like emails, just delete. Like, I don't have to deal with the spam in real life. Like, I don't have to deal with spam in the emails. Like, there's just how I group things. It's not what it really is, but it's whatever I fucking think it is. It's whatever I want it to be. It's mind over matter. If I don't give a shit, then it doesn't matter. And even if it does to you, it doesn't mean it does to me. And that's my problem with society and life. Because the things that bother me the most doesn't always bother people, but it really does. It really does. But what do we do to counteract it? I figure for me personally, how I counteract the bullying, how I counteract the hatred, and how I counteract the traffickings of things is the bullying. I try to be as nice to the people that I can be in the communities I can. Even when I'm around kids, and I don't actively try to be around kids, I'm out here kicking the soccer ball around. I'll go out to a park and kick the soccer ball around. I'm out in the community. I'm out in the public. I'm expecting and being pissed off if the public's there. How dare you guys enjoy this fucking beautiful day at fucking peak day? I was supposed to be out here by myself and with either by myself or with somebody I brought with me. Like, why are you guys here? But if you guys are here, then, and if you guys want to participate, feel free to. I'm not going to actually ever instigate it because I don't fucking know. I don't know if you guys are racist. I don't know if you guys want to be alone. I don't know. I don't care. So, and the way to show I don't care, but still be gentle with it is just how I do it. Because I'm just like, well, not. I try to hold my face softer because it's just like, I'm not mad. I just don't really give a shit. I'm just here. So I try to hold the body happiness where it's just like, I don't know many angry dancing people. Why are you so aggressively dancing? Like, hey, leave me alone. I want to be here. I said, oh. Don't touch me. Like, I ain't never seen it. Don't mean it don't exist. I just ain't seen it yet. I forgot what the other two were because that skit went a little bit longer than I wanted to. See, and I just make these things up as I go, and when I do that, sometimes the train of thought go, oop, too far away. I can't reach it. But it's just essentially being aware. Being nice to people. I think I actually hit 2 with 1 by the interacting with kids by playing soccer with them. Hell, I've even played basketball with them, pick up basketball just because I brought the soccer ball. Or no, we were playing basketball and they happened to be there. And it's just like, yet again, it's not hard to act like that random, like how I think about it when I play with random kids out in public. It's just like when I was younger, I remember being out in the boonies. I've always thought I wanted somebody to play with. Well, my siblings were kind of a-holes, and also they had disabilities, and certain disabilities wouldn't allow them to do certain things. And other siblings were either clean the whole entire house or this or that. And it's just like, how the fuck is there 11 of you guys? Nobody has time to play with me. Yes, I was one of those people. So I was just like, fuck you guys. I just want somebody to play with me. So even though I had 11 siblings, well, 10 siblings, because I'd be considered one of them. I keep saying 11. 10 siblings, depending on actually the time of the year, time of the year, because sometimes we'd have a foster child. But even though there's so many people in the house, I literally go outside the house to find other people because they don't want to play with me. So I'll find somebody to play with me, which is why I feel like I could have been human trafficked at some point in time. But for the fact that I really stopped shopping, I stopped going to out with my parents and siblings a long time ago because of the fact that I hated how we would get there and it would take 2.5 hours to get things. I'm just like, I don't like it. And I don't really think they paid much attention, to be honest, because I've been to places I shouldn't have been. I don't know how to explain that, because I figure if I've been there, then I should have been there. And if I haven't, then, oh, maybe I could still go there. So it's just like, and I know I've gotten lost there, and a store that wasn't even that big once. I don't remember what the flip the chain was at this point in time. But it's just like, it's not impossible. It's impossible. I'm possible. We possible. You possible. Stop. So it's not unlikely that could have happened. And from my understanding, I was a cute child. I don't know what cute is. Like, yeah, I kind of do, but like, every time I think of cute, and I hopefully I remember what these two are for, but every time I think of cute, I'm just like, is it like adult cute or little kid cute? Because what you have to realize, the difference between adult cute and little kid cute is, adult cute, you'd be like, yeah, you cute. Yeah, you sexy. Yeah, I want to fuck you. But little kid cute's like, yeah, that's cute. You go any farther, motherfucker, you should be behind bars. I want your mind, like, my mind might be weird, my mind might be bizarre, but there are certain lines that I refuse to cross. I refuse. I'm aware I'm a psychotic. Sometimes. I'm aware of it. That's the best part compared to some people who are just like, really? Really? Okay. 99% of the times or more. And I say it like that because I will admit there's sometimes that I didn't even realize I did something until outside of the instance. And I do remember that there are some occurrences when I was dating and I had some significant others that would tell me that I did things that I don't have any recollection whatsoever. And then there's actually a recent occurrence of me not having any recollection of something. But like, I remembered I was trying to wake up early enough to, I want to say it was for work, because it was like an 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock type of time span. And I remembered I had a conversation from the previous night that I was doing. Now, the flipped up part is I remember having issues sleeping and waking up and going on my phone to essentially turn back on my, my podcast, the Creepypasta podcast or something like that, because I love creepypastas, literally. Anything like that or any type of horror story podcast, I'd be listening to that shit. And point two, speed two. So I remember in between the trying to go back to sleep, I remember only going on my phone for that, but I don't remember going into conversation and responding. But the screwed up part is, it even fucking said and talked just like I would have. So it's just like, am I so fried and wired and weird for all the times I've been split and trying to be a perfect person for some person to just to change for another person, because each person is a different person. So restart. That I might have created a own split in my head, and I'm low key figuring out about it as time has progressed, and people aren't telling me because I don't fucking know what the hell the other version is. Like, I do realize, like I keep saying, that I have aggressive tendencies. I am this, I am that. But for the fact that I try not to be, I question if the mind is that fucking, I don't know. It can, I believe that a mind can be damaged enough to have fugue states. I believe a mind can be damaged enough to have alternate states. I do believe that I am goofy, I am crazy, I am weird, I am off the walls. But I question, am I really off the walls enough to have that bad? And it could be why I don't like to go to sleep a lot of times, because, and like the biggest thing about me is, I'm probably gonna fuck these two. Let's cancel these out. I ain't gonna remember at this point. I'm a whole ass new tangent. So the biggest thing about me is I'm sensitively insensitive, and I do a lot of things off of the energies I feel. And when I get bits of information as I'm listening to things, depending on the energy I feel, I take that as a lie detector test, as if it's true or if it resonates to me. And a lot of things that I've come to learn that I like a lot is just like, maybe I am psychotic. Maybe I am crazy. Maybe I do have this. Maybe I do have that. Maybe if I had the money to, we would all agree and I could just tell you guys, hey, look at it. I have this. But can we do this quick question? Do you guys, because I was actually thinking about this before I make the videos, do you guys respect DIYs, do-it-yourselves? Like if I showed you a table that I made myself by the craftsmanship, assuming that I've spent a lot of time into it, then would you guys give me good responses and good honest reviews? Like, don't think about my feelings, be honest, even if it's rude. I don't give a fuck. If you respect those DIYs, then why don't you respect my own DIY about my mind? I couldn't afford carpentry, so I learned to do it myself. I couldn't afford psychology and therapy, so what I do? Y'all gonna fucking run the platforms for it. I took the media forms I could find, and I was able to compile the information and just being able to remember all the things I've done, being able to do studying, the journaling, and like I think enough that I can actually probably give myself a well enough diagnosis in the things to be able to agree with another doctor. With the doctor. Just talk like I'm a doctor. You can't impersonate doctors. You can't impersonate police officers. But why do vigilantes exist? And why do I don't know what the mob doctors are, but like whatever those are called exist. It's illegal. It's illegal. It's too expensive. It's too expensive to get the name brand. So sometimes I gotta get the off brand shit. And sometimes the off brand is me. Yeah. That's how I always think. When it's too expensive, like you gotta get what you can get. And if you can't get it, you create it yourself. And that's basically hyper independence in a nutshell. Fuck it. I'll do it myself, I guess. Help, 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 help. Help, 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 help. Help, 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 help. Fuck it. So just do it myself. I will just do it myself. I'll get to it eventually. Fuck it. And because I'm so aware, I believe that's at least what allows me to be so functional in communities, and that's why it's so hard for others to really see it right away. Or people will just see it right away. I don't doubt that, and I know in many interactions, people are just like, wow, you're weird. But like good weird. Or it's like your energy is just, it's everywhere, Ethan. Or it's hard to read. Or it's just, and it's, don't get me wrong, it's even hard for me to figure out because I'm just like, I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to be. I don't know what the fuck I want to be. Every time people ask me what the fuck do I want to be, essentially it's just somebody that's good for society, somebody that's good for the environment. And some people think it's a dead person. Some people think it's the best version of you. And some people think it's whoever the fuck others want you to be. And everybody wants you to be somebody different, but Lee, and everybody perceives you to be someone different. So honestly, at this point, I just want to be me. But who am I? I'm still trying to figure it out. Every day I wake up and it's an experiment on who the fuck I am and who accepts me as that person. Rather, if you see me as them, you just have to accept it. You just have to be more or less tolerant of it. You just have to be you. Like I have to be me. Like we all want to be something. But first we have to be ourselves. I want to be somebody else. I've done a lot of things. I've seen a lot of things. I've experienced a lot of things. I still will continue to and still will learn to. I will never hit an educational wall, even though at some point I do. I know I'll never stop learning. It's just, am I paying attention closely or am I just experiencing? It is what it is. It is what I make it. It's not going to be horrible because I said it won't be. I go to where I need to be. I go to where I am needed. I go to where I will flourish. I go because somebody called. And that's how I honestly feel. From a very young age, I was doing things that I didn't realize were essentially over my head. I was unexperienced. I was inexperienced, really should be saying, for them to get me. I get it, grammar Nazis murder me, but this is my second language, and I've tried to kill myself more times than the times I keep saying. If I keep thinking like, if I killed myself physically, I killed myself socially, I killed myself emotionally, I killed all these personalities just for a person to like me, and it's just like, that didn't work. That didn't work. That didn't work. That didn't work. This didn't work. How many times do I have to do this for people to love me? And what made this one not love me? And I changed it for this one, but now this one doesn't love me, but they say it's something differently. What could it be? Is it them or is it me? Is it the group or is it me? Is it where I am or is it me? Who am I? somebody for somebody, but when I look at myself in the mirror and I can't recognize my own self, that's when I realize I'm not somebody I like anymore. The cool and the weird thing about me is, I shit you not when I say this, if I don't go past the mirror, if I don't look at myself, I truly do forget my own identity. For the fact that I lived in an environment that I did, sometimes I thought I was part of the community just because I wanted the acceptance before I wanted to accept me. So if it meant denying me, then whatever it took to be part of the popular group. Yeah, I watched a bunch of movies on that too, selling out my friends that truly loved me, cared about me, went through the shit with me, been to my house, but the popular group, I would even murder my friends just to be part of that shit too. Which is why I, me older now, love the underdogs too, because I remember when I was just like you. I remember, can never forget. I'm trying to live in the present, but the past is what made me. But now, I'm different. But what does that mean? Well, watch me. How do I present these things compared to other people? Well, I would like to say I over-explain, so don't say you don't get it. Just ask questions and I shall explain more for you. But people say, don't ask questions. Well, I'm not people. I'm me. I'm Ethan. I'm E. I am we. I am us. I am you. I am myself. I am whatever the fuck I want to be. I am at peace because that's all I ever wanted. But first I had to figure out what it was. Peace was finding what brought me happy. What is it? Soccer field, poetry, alone time, good intellectual conversations, sometimes physical interactions where it comes to wrestling, boxing, or hell, even competition soccer-wise would be something nice. As well as visual stimulations throughout movies, video games, as well as words of affirmation, but genuine words of affirmation, because people oversaturate the words like they mean something when really, what do those words mean when you have no actions that match it? Like, I like you and I ignore you for months, weeks, never talk to you, never do anything politely, never get to really learn you, to be interested in you. I like you, but never really think too much of you, about you, like, fuck you, but I like you, using these words to try to manipulate me. What do these words mean? Exactly. When words are cheap, of course they're going to say it. It's too expensive to do anything else. Words of affirmation. And authenticity. Authenticity. I don't know, there's probably more. I'm always thinking, but where am I? Anywhere and everywhere. Nowhere. In my head, at least, I want to reach out, but how do I speak? Am I speaking clear enough or confusing for you? Am I not speaking clear? I'm just speaking to speak sometimes. I'm speaking to be interested. Maybe I'm just speaking because nobody else listened to me. Like, I am always glad that I have my own means to be able to express myself, because if I didn't, well, maybe I'd be mean too. Like, I've always went out for walks because that's when I want to be mean too. Others around me, and I realize that goes against the messages that I've always been trying to speak. I have the capability to change, and others will hold chains. Why? Because it costs them too much to change. I could be ones too, but I realize, well, from the story that I heard from the book that's also not as thick as it's supposed to be, he was murdered for what he did, so why wouldn't it happen to me? The good die young. So does that mean the bad live forever? It's the lines that others keep saying. I don't get what the fuck this means. I just be, okay. But check my references and the references of the references of the references of the references of the and that always bothers me, because what's really true? It changes constantly, oftenly. Fuck it. It's whatever I want it to be. But then I'm called delusional. And then they lock me up in places where I don't want to go. Like, wait. I'm actually nice if I act right enough. Oh. I can do whatever you want me to. Just please. You gotta lock me you just shoot me in the face. Not with your dick, though. Ew, no. Whoa, no. Pull out the real gun and come out with the chambers and bang. I want to make sure the job done right, so you got to really blow out my head. Just don't blow out my brains. You know my face is my prettiest thing, but I took enough photos. People don't need to see it anymore. So fuck it. Just tell them. Tell Cletus I've been into his wife's clitoris. Piss them off, because once they're angry, they don't think about shit. Once I'm angry, I start criticizing it. Critical. I'm analyzing. What the fuck analytical? Why I act with this, I'm gonna get knocked out too. I'd be a fool to just say shit out of anger, because I used to, and then I'd be apologizing. I don't like that shit. Apologizing don't mean nothing. If I just say, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna keep doing it. That's what I meant. Like, I'm sorry. I got caught doing it. I'm sorry. You were the one to find out. I'm sorry. I didn't end it sooner. I'm not sorry for doing it. I'm just sorry because they told me I had to say, I'm sorry. For what? I don't know. What am I sorry for again? Read these lines perfectly. I'd be taking acting classes because apparently I just not be right. I figure out how I can make this work. The more intelligence that I have, I can actually layer this up so you guys think it's work. So it's not that I'm crazy. I'm method acting crazy. How else am I going to know how to be crazy if I don't interpret it? So I've been around, like I would say, for as many disabled people as I've been around. I've been inside of an asylum, and then I've also befriended an autistic person too. He's actually diagnosed though. Me? I don't know. I just know heart issues because that's what they paid to. Well, you guys did, the taxpayers, and because I paid taxes too, so eventually I paid you guys back, and also because I figure shit, the community has paid for me at some point or another, and how do I fix things that are broken? Well, the root of it. So I treat kids as polite as I can, hopefully, so when they grow up to be into power positions, they don't be assholes! I remember that one nice black person that treated me, so I will do this to the community because of that one representation. I remember that one older kid, so I'm just going to do that for the youth because I remember my past made me. But it does not determine who I'm going to be. I grew up, but I could still be a star. If I remember all the things I've seen, some of the best people came from some of the worst places. But people don't typically check the start. They just look at where the star is. And damn, does the star look bright. But was it always? Could you always see it? Did you always recognize it? Did you appreciate it while the star was there? If you know anything, I know some things I think I do. The star that you see in the night sky has died before you recognized it. Do you not know how much time it takes for light to get from space? So, by the time I'm a star, I probably won't exist. And I've come to accept it a long time ago. So as long as I leave these messages, maybe somebody will see the brightness of me. If not today, if not tomorrow, then maybe eventually. Thank you for listening. Thank you, males, females, those that I do not know their preferred pronouns to. I just portray myself, and whether you like it or not, well, I've tried to kill myself. I'm pretty sure others probably have just a little bit, haven't succeeded quite yet. When the job is done, I hope you guys celebrate as much as I do, but I still left my footprint, so my legacy is in my energy. Rather I left it in video, rather I left it in personality. You will remember or forget me. It is what it is. I forget a lot of things too. But thank you for listening.